Hey, what's up? It's me, Gazbot, doing another toy review. We're trying a few new different things. I have diffused light up here and this sort of tarpy thing, so we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, go Megaforce! Carefully put the card in and whoa!
I am Robo Knight, protector of the Earth, guardian of the future.
Hey there everybody, it's Gazbot, and today we have another toy review of a Power Rangers figure. This is from Megaforce, not Super Megaforce, although this character did show up in both, despite only being in one of the Sentai counterparts, which was Gosei, which I'm probably mispronouncing, so forgive me, where he was known as Gosei Knight, but here he is known as Robo Knight. And he, in my opinion, was the best character in Megaforce, which was an otherwise disappointing season of Power Rangers for me personally. However, like I said, Robo Knight was my favorite character. I considered getting the SH Figure Arts version, but I've heard horror stories about quality control, and I am a sucker for two things, light and sound and chromey stuff. And this guy has light and sound and chromey stuff. So you can see it's an open box, so if you're the type of person that likes to keep your stuff in the box, he would display nicely, and you could press him. You get the light, you get the sound, so you don't have to open him. I'll just do a quick turnaround on the box. Side, it talks about how you could use the card that he comes with in the game on the iPhone or other smartphone device. On the back, it shows you that you can get the Red Ranger and this horrible Megazord. Is that even the Megazord? I guess it is, but it just looks so terrible, I don't even recognize it. And then on this side, it shows about the card game and the Gosei Morpher, which is a much more fun play feature, in my opinion. All right, so we're going to open this bad boy up. Okay, so I opened him up, and just so you know, this is the backing, and it needed to be ripped off like an old school blister card, and then I still had to cut the twist ties. So it's not one of those where you could untwist it and put it back and it'll still kind of be mint and packaged. If you open them, that's it. The package is destroyed. And I almost kind of prefer packages like that because I always struggle with, I like to open most of my toys, if not all, and I always struggle with, should I keep the box? What should I do with the box? In a case like this, when it gets destroyed, it eliminates the question entirely. Box is destroyed, throw it out. Something else is, it has the instructions, which, as I said, don't list what phrases he has or how many. It basically just tells you, hey, press the button here and he's going to make sound. And it's just one of those dual instructions where it has the same instructions for the Red Ranger in this scale with the light and sound, and it tells you how to take out the batteries. The bummer is you could see it's those like watch type batteries that are expensive, so hopefully they last a while. But in my experience, this type of toy, they do last a while. Like if it lasted less than a year or two, I'd be surprised. What's interesting though is you can see it has different languages here, 3 different languages, and on the instructions that's not that unusual. But also on the packaging, with the exception of the logo, everywhere it has 3 languages. It looks like Spanish and, I don't know, maybe Portuguese or something. I'm terrible. I'm American, so I don't know. But I wonder, this was bought online, I believe, through Amazon, if I had to guess. Yeah, you can see there's some sort of reseller thing there. I wonder if the normal mass market American release of this had the 3 languages or not. And I don't care if it did, but I'm just wondering if that's the new thing that they're doing to, I don't know, save money. I mean, based on the instructions, I'm imagining they're just cutting costs wherever they can, and that's fine because we get a great figure for a great price. So anyway, let's take a look at Robo Knight. Here he is from the front in all his Robo glory. And the side. The back, which is the least appealing side because of all the screws, but that's kind of unavoidable, especially in a figure that has light and sound electronics. This is the battery pack here, by the way. You would need to unscrew it to replace it. The good thing is that this is kind of part of his character design, since that's part of how he turns into the Zord, the Lion Zord that he turns into. So it's not as obtrusive as it could be. All right, let's talk articulation. He is a big figure. He's 12 inches tall. He has up and down movement at the shoulder, minimal in and out, which is more than I expected, to be honest. Nothing at the elbow. Nothing until you get down to the wrist. And it's, what I like is it's right at the hand. Sometimes they put it higher, but so you kind of got up and down, slightly in and out, and twist at the wrist on both of those. The head I'm betting doesn't even move at all. Nope, no movement, because it's got light and sound, so they could, but it'd be more engineering than they need. So let's check the legs. We got up, back. Now the legs go out similar to the arms, but way more, which is nice. No knee, and similar to the hands, we have it just at the ankle, right by the foot. And I feel like the swivels on the ankles are going to be the most important thing for getting him to balance correctly. Although he seems to have good balance, I'm not that worried about it. He's a very light figure for his size and for the fact that he has electronics and stuff in him. Looking at the detailing, I mean, my favorite part's got to be this big hunk of chrome right here. And it's just plastic with like a vacuum form chrome, however they do that. But it's really nice. The speaker holes are pretty well disguised in here. They're underneath the shield, and then there's two on the other side of the lion's nose and above it. But really, since it's black, and especially this one is very nicely concealed, I don't even notice it. Like, I'm a foot away and I could barely see it. On a shelf, you would never notice it. I think that's very nicely done. The paint, while simple, I'm looking at it, I don't see any flaws. The helmet would be the real place to check. Arguably, on the top of the helmet, on the inside of the fins, it should be gold. Similar on its crest right here, it should be gold, and it's silver. But from the front, it looks pretty good. From the sides, it looks pretty good. Well, now, the side of the crest should be gold too. So I guess that's really the only complaint as far as paint apps, but that's a minor one because most of the time you're looking from the front or 3/4, you know, unless you're looking from the top down, it's not a problem. I mean, it technically is it's not even a flaw, it's just a poor choice or a budget cut decision, but I don't hold that against the figure. So let's go ahead and check out his accessories, which are exactly one, which is the sort of, it's the Robo Blade, but I believe it's the combination of the Robo Blaster with the Robo Blade. And like the 5-inch series, which I've reviewed a few of, it's molded all in one color, and it's squishy PVC plastic. Look at that. It's like, wow, that's not good. It's not the usual bend. It's like a forced in bend that I can maybe correct with hot water, but I just wish they wouldn't use this plastic. And I guess it's less likely to break for children, and it's safer. There's no way you're going to hurt yourself. But I think it's also probably harder to paint, to get the paint to stick here. I'm assuming, because they're always molded in one color. So I get a choice of material I'm not particularly fond of and a single color. But this figure was not bought for this. This figure was bought because he's chromey good and he has light and sound features. So let's check out what he could do. The button is right here. And again, it is well disguised as the bottom part of the dragon mouth. So if we press it, he's saying Vulcan Cannon Fire, which is one of his super moves, which is pretty awesome on the show. He gets like a little Gatling gun sort of revolver ammunition to go in the Robo Blaster. Let's see what else he says. Battle sound. Mission underway. Do not interfere. That's one of the things. One of the things I like about this character, I think in the original Gosei, which I haven't watched, but I think he started off as a villain character and then was programmed to be good, or vice versa. In Megaforce, he was programmed to be good and created by Gosei, but sort of his memory got corrupted or whatever. So he was still a good guy, and his primary mission was to protect the Earth and the environment. But he didn't want to work at the Power Rangers, which I thought was awesome, because I'm like, good, you don't need them. You're better than them. But he eventually learns cooperation and teamwork and all that stuff. But I kind of almost liked him better, and he's a little bit of a jerk, and he's like, I don't need you. Get out of my way. I'm not even sure you're good guys. You're kind of hurting the Earth, too. Anyway, I digress. Let's see what else he has to say. I love that his eyes light up with the words.
Stand down, mutants. You have threatened the Earth. All threats must be removed.
He said that to the Power Rangers, I think. Maybe now I'm just getting crazy. He's also like, hey, I'm going to kick your butt. You're jerks. And no, he never said that.
Fire.
It does the thing where it randomly chooses one of the voices, phrases, so it's difficult to know if I've heard them all, and the box doesn't have a list of them all. I'm sure I could look online, but that's not how I do things, so I'm just going to press it a few more times.
Dynamic. Activate. The enemies of the Earth will all be eliminated. Stand down. Mission underway. I am Robo Knight, protector of the Earth, guardian of the future.
I think we'll stop there. That seems about enough. I think we've heard all of them, and I love it. I honestly can't tell if that's the original voice actor or not, because since there's such a heavy effect put on the voice to make it sound like a robot, it easily could be a different voice actor just mimicking that style. You like my analog turntable here? But it sounds good enough to me. It's not like it's Troy or somebody that you're going to clearly know if it's not them. it sounds like Robo Knight. If it is a sound-alike, good enough, man. Well done, sound-alike. So here he is with the accessory in his hand. He holds it well, nice and tight. I could shake him. Hey, that worked out. The play value is intense. It's not going to fall out of his hand. I wish it had the gun as well, but I'll take what I can get. Again, the accessory is not what this figure is for. I may or may not even display him with the accessory. I'm leaning towards not, in case you're wondering. And yeah, that's really all you could do with it, is hold it. I mean, his other hand could hold it too. I guess if you want to get super fancy, have him do like a reverse grip type deal. But it's not even very good because he can't bend his elbow, so he's just like, it's like a cane. I'm Robo Knight. I've got to go get some Pepperidge Farm Werther Smurger prune juice, because that's what old robots say. Moving on, the other thing he comes with that is infinitely better than his crappy accessory, in my opinion, is the Robo Knight Megaforce card for the Gosei Morpher. Now, it's got a nice little picture of him and his art, but it also has the stats, and it could be used in the game, but you could also just use it. This is the American Gosei Morpher. Let me pull out Jungle Fury Red, rather. Put him in, and let's see what he says. This is non-game mode.
Megaforce Robo Knight.
So there you go, Megaforce Robo Knight, in case you couldn't hear it. And like I've seen in some of the other pack-in cards that come with figures, this card is not in mint condition. It's got a bend right here on the corner that's pretty noticeable, and that was right out of the package. I didn't do anything. It almost curls up at the bottom here. I can live with it. I mean, it's a bummer because it's brand new, but I don't collect them for the value or anything, and as long as it works in the Morpher and it has a nice picture on it, that's good enough for my collection as I toss it. But this guy retails right now for about 20 bucks. You can get him on Amazon or other various places. He was actually a Christmas gift to me, but it was on my wish list, so that's why I have an idea what he went for. He is a million times worth $20. He's the same price as like the shampoo bottle. Well, actually, he's a little bit more than the shampoo bottle, like Star Wars and even Power Ranger figures you see nowadays. But he has articulation. He has chrome parts. He has light and sound.
I am Robo Knight, protector of the Earth, guardian of the future.
He has missions to protect the Earth and the future. He's amazing. There's very little I would ask for. I mean, an elbow bend would be nice, and a Robo Blaster would be nice, but I can't even say that I need that. He's a big win. He's going on my 12-inch shelf. He's detailed enough to fit in with more expensive, higher-end figures, but he has playability that they do not. I can't imagine a better version of this figure existing, except unless they did a figure arts that had light and sound and chrome, which they're not going to do. I feel, and my opinion is biased, but I feel this is the definitive Robo Knight toy. Now, if you're talking about collectible, arguably the SH Figure Arts, if you get a good version that doesn't have all the defects that seem to plague that figure, arguably that is the definitive version. But this is definitely the definitive toy mass market consumption version, and for this collector, this is my definitive Robo Knight. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you decided if you wanted to get it or not, and the answer is you do want to get it. Because even if you're not into Power Rangers, if you're into robots, if you're into 12-inch figures, if you're into light and sound, it's got a little bit of something for everybody that could satisfy whatever your particular plastic fetish should be. The only thing wouldn't satisfy you is if you're strictly into Gokins and you want metal, well, then you're out of luck. Because I don't even think they make one of him that is metal. But other than that, I'm giving him a 9 if you can get him for $20. If he's more than that, maybe the points go down, but he's pretty great. Here I have him up in a lineup with a couple of other different figures, some Rangers and a Vegeta and a Sark and a Power Lords. But I realized I made a mistake. I had said he was 12 inches tall. He is in fact 10 inches tall. I actually would have preferred if he was 12, just a little bit more of a standard size. Not going to make or break what I said earlier about him being a great figure. That ruler in the background is at a slight angle, but if I pull it up, you can see he's almost exactly 10 inches. And just to give you further reference, the Jungle Fury Red Casey figure is 6 inches. The Megaforce Ultra Black figure is 4 inches. Titanium Ranger is 5 inches. And this is the American Ranger key, and that is the Japanese Mobarite. Mobarate. That's the Japanese Ranger key.